Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Thoneick. We're here in my studio in Mülheim, Germany, and I'm here with the Future Music Magazine guys, and I'll try and show you how to build a track from scratch. So when I started production, I didn't do anything else. I was studying during that time, at the university. So I said the music always was my hobby, and I never thought about doing it as a professional job, But then from 2006 on, everything turned the other way around. And after I said I have to finish my university, and then I can do whatever I want to, But at least I have an educational degree, And yeah, and then that's when Love Sensation came out, and Love Sensation was the breakthrough record for me. So after that, it began rolling and rolling and rolling. Did more and more stuff and remixes for a lot of people, for Guetta, for Bob Sinclair, for Roger Sanchez, who were really, really big guys and back in the days, So yeah, from that day on, I collaborated with a lot of people. I collaborated with Kurt Maverick. I did collaborations with Eric Morillo a lot, which brought me one step further to where I wanted to be in 2010 when Live Your Life came out. Now it was 2011, but that's when Live Your Life came out, and that was like the final step. Nowadays you have to work way harder than back in the days when the chances for it wasn't affordable for people. You know what I mean? They had to jump in colder water than people have to do now, because then back in the days you had to invest. You couldn't produce when you don't have an external mixer or external synthesizers or something like that. Yeah, you had to invest, and then and nowadays it's just you have to just invest into internet connection. That's it, and the rest you can teach yourself very, very fast. When you start working with the software that is able to do what you want to do. For me, it's just like eating a piece of bread, It's just like in your soul, You don't have to think about it anymore. You do it like automatically, and that's what I have with Cubase, or like opening a mail program or something like that. For me, everything is like, yeah, of course, yeah, I do this, and I don't think about it anymore. Okay, basically I'm going to start with the bass drum. I have a couple of presets already, which I'm using most of the time. A really nice tool that I love working with is the Kick drum synthesizer from Sonic Academy. It's the Nicky Romero Artist Edition. Yeah. The good thing about it is that you can adjust the bass drum next to all the presets that you have there for all different kinds of genres. You can adjust all different frequencies that belong to the bass drum. I think a lot of people have been. It's such a simple idea creating something like this, but I know that it's an essential tool for everybody in the future. So just check it out. It's not that expensive as well. So, and you can do everything that you need to do with the bass drum. So I came up with this one. Yep. And so you can see here, you can see the volumes of the different parts of the bass drum. You just imagine this as a wave file. The last part here is the low frequencies. The best way is to show it here. So all my whole setup, I will start with F. Yeah. So yeah, I route the bass drum to the note F. Yeah. Okay. You just draw it really quick here. I already did that. Yeah. So it sounds like this. Yeah. And with this one, you can change the notes here. Yeah, I put it on F. And the amp, you can adjust the length, for example, which is probably very useful for EDM stuff with a long sub in it. I don't need that right now, so I leave it like this. Okay, so we have our bass drum, and now it's time to bring in some groove. Most of the time when I start, I either way just take a simple piano and come up with a melody and just a clap or a ride or something so I can play around a little bit, or I come up with the beats first. And in this case I start with the beats. I have the bass drum now, and let's see what we have. A nice feature that Cubase has, which I can't go without anymore, is the media bay from Cubase. So here it is. So this this window lets you locate everything that has to do with music, even if it's either way, if it's MIDI files, if it's WAV files or presets or whatever, you can just get to everything in an instant. And the easy thing is, here's my sample library, for example. Yeah, I have all the sample CDs here, which are a lot, I just see. And you can just use it on the go as a drag and drop, which makes everything very, very easy. Okay, let's go to one of the new ones that I have. Okay, we have some loops here. I just take a pre-produced loop now, and then just want to show you the basics. Okay, so here's a small preview window. You can adjust the volume, and you can also push this button, which allows you to time stretch it in real time. So when your project is 128 and the loop is 125, it automatically converts into that, it adapts to that speed. So, and if you have it in the project and you have this button activated, all the audio files are going to adjust to the tempo of the song. Okay, let's find a loop. Okay. It's too much. No. Let's go to this one. Yep. Let's take this one. Okay, we'll take this. Just put it here. You see, and now you have the MIDI, the audio file directly here, and it's adapted to the length and the tempo of the track. So when we listen to it, it sounds like this. So grooves already. Okay, now I'm going to show you something. How you can edit this loop, because there's one part in there that I don't like, that I want to get rid of. So when we open the audio file, I go on hit points, because this way you can just cut it on these lines and you can adjust the sensitivity. Yeah, so this will do. And the tempo is 128. Okay, and then you go just on slice. Bam, and then you have all the slices that you want. You see here, and now you have all the single samples, and I don't like the first one. Get rid of that one. Okay, the same here. Now it sounds like this. You see? So it's really, really easy to use, and it's you can do it not only with beats, you can do it with vocals, especially if you have like a lot of vocals. Then you can just adjust the hit points and cut it and put on quantize, and then it puts it directly at the beginning, all at the same point, which is really helpful if you have a lot of audio files. Okay, what else do we need? We need a clap. Okay, a clap. I already have one here. So let's take this one. Already a great groove. We don't want this one. Okay, we can paste this. Okay, we're looking for something else. What do we need? We need a ride, we need a hi-hat. Let's take a look. Hi-hats, for example. Yeah, this one is quite cool. I want like a closed hi-hat. Put it here. Puts it directly via drag and drop. Shorten it. Okay, like this. Then I'm just going to copy it a couple of times. Okay. Easy to do. Here we go. Sounds like this. So I don't want it to be like this. I want it a little bit like sidechained, you know. And most of there are different types how you can do sidechaining. Either way, you can just draw volume shapes or something. And there's a great tool out there from Cable guys. It's called Volume Shaper, and which does exactly that. So there's no need to open a host compressor, put the sidechain on, and put the compressor of the to the signal that needs to be pushed away. So simply go on Insert Effects. We have the Cable guys, Volume Shaper. Here it is. So, and if you put on play, it's like this. So far now, yeah. Okay, normally it's this is the normal signal how it is, and I want to go and get a little bit sidechain on there, so it will groove a little bit more. There's a preset called Sidechain Full 1. Here it is, and you can simply draw the volume. Which is amazing. I use it for everything. I use it for synthesizers, for vocals, to get that pumping feeling into that thing. Okay, let's have a listen to that. Yeah, sounds cool. You can even go ahead and make it a little bit more abstract. You can just simply start drawing something and hope that it sounds good. In this case, it doesn't make a big difference, but you can change the tempos in which the loop is going to be automated with volume. Okay, and you have this one, for example. Or this. But I'll stay with this one. It's the best. Okay. Here we go. And now it's time to come up with a melody or something. I have a couple of synthesizers here. Which one are we going to take? Let's see. This is a massive one. The good thing is, in Cubase also you can save if you have a synthesizer and you have all the effects on it and you made it your own preset and you want to use it on again later, you simply go and save the whole thing. So you can just like in a media bay, you can just import the whole thing. Okay, you just go on save preset. You see, I did it already a couple of times. And I call it Eddie Bass 2014. Okay. So, and this way you can insert another. Now I can open it by either way. You can just choose one of the synthesizers that you have, or you can choose in the presets. And there it is. And you can even pre-play it. So there are previews in there as well. Here, there it is. And if you don't like it, you just go to this one for perhaps, and you can. It previews it. It does the preview as well, but it has to load a little bit, of course. It depends on how many. It depends on how many plugins you have on there. I like this sound actually. Okay, import it. There we are. And now we have to find a way to come up with a just have to play around a little bit. The good thing is you can put it on auto quantize and then it's already quantized. Okay, here are the notes. There's one wrong. Okay, I want these to have the same length. Adjust length. Done. These ones as well. Okay, hold on. Need to adjust this. Okay. Okay, we have a bass. Okay, and the same here with volume shaper that I did before. You see? This is without the volume shaper, and this is with volume shaper. And you can also, I like to give a tag a little bit to the beginning. So you hear the first sound a little bit, you know? And perhaps also add a little bit of hall. This is actually also a good way to go into a drop, you know? Fade everything out, low cut on it, and just put the mix of the reverb in it, and then boom, you know? And that's what we are going to do. That's a good idea. Okay. We have our bass and the kick. Okay, for me, there's still a little bit of sub missing, so there are a couple of things that we can use. Perhaps simple sine sub, which is from our friend Silent. Yeah, it's a preset and I just filter it down. So I want just the bass in there. So, and what you want to do now is either way you can play it with a bass drum or not. Yeah? Either way you can play it with a bass drum or you can put it as an offbeat or something. Let's see what fits best. sounds cool with a glide in it as well. Let's record that. Okay, here we are. Okay, in order to get the glide flowing, you have to, two notes have to cross each other. And this way you get the whoop, you see? Hold on. Yep. And if you're not crossing them, you have two separate notes. Okay. Adjust it. Okay, function, here we are. This one needs to be longer. And off we go. Okay, what you also, there are a lot of difficulties when it comes up to bass and bass drum, you know, that the frequencies will cut each other off. You get the punch of the bass line or the punch of the bass drum is getting lost. Most of the time it has to do because the frequencies are just overlayering, you know, and they phase each other out. So there's a simple way of doing that. Yeah, EQing is the magic word here, and I use the ozone as well, and I cut down the real low frequencies up to 50 Hertz. Easy thing to do, go into the EQ of ozone, make it a flat high pass, and this way you can, let's see if I play it, it sounds like this. So look, these frequencies, they're barely there because we don't need them. I filtered them down. Okay, I go up to 50. And this way you can make sure that it's probably not going to bite the bass drum. And it doesn't. Okay, and what you also don't want in the sub bass are the middle frequencies and the upper frequencies. Also, ozone is very helpful with that. Okay, so I'm going to put it all away. So leave this a little bit. The deep mid frequencies you can leave. See how much you can cut, and it's still there, and it's just, you probably don't hear it on your monitor speakers at home if you don't have a subwoofer, because the range of normal speakers is not going so deep. So, but you'll hear it in the club, and you will feel it in the club as well. Okay, here we go. Okay, a tool that I like to use as well, which is normally not used for synthesizers, is the GTR tool rack. It's a normal distortion. It's made for guitars or bass or whatever, and I just use it for the basses, for example. Here you have two amplifiers, and the presets already are really good, but this is like, it took me to create this sound, it took me half a day, I think, to get it all sorted and the way I wanted it to. So you just have to play around with all the different frequencies, with the drive and the delays and the cabinets and everything. So, but this is already pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Okay. Okay, took the sound from Nexus. Probably also want to hear how the sound sounds without anything on it. It's like this. So it's not really anything, you know? It has a nice low end, but not really the punchiness that it needs. So with all of my effects, it sounds like this. I can also hear that there's too much low frequency in there. So the bass, the main bass has a little bit too much deep bass, so you just go on edit, and then in Cubase, I think it's since 6.5 that they have the EQ like this. So and it's really good that you can see live where the frequencies are, so you have an orientation where there would be too much frequencies and you can cut them down easily. So that's what I did here already from the preset sound, you know. So because when I turn this off, it's too much bass. It's going down till about 30 hertz. Okay, I have this. All right. Okay, so in order to be able to use the Lexicon room reverb, I want to automate it, and which in Cubase it's really easy to do. You see here, there's a drop down button. Here you can see the volume, then you can make it a little bit more bigger. And if you want to change things, you don't need to. Yeah, that's a possibility that you can do. It's go into Nexus and go through all the automations that are possible. But there's a real easy way to do it. Just open the synthesizer and put on read write, play back, write, and just automate the mix. And that's it. Okay, so and now you see, very easy. You have the mix and everything. Okay. But you know what? I don't want the reverb of the Nexus, I want the reverb of my insert effect, which is the Lexicon. Okay, let's go. Let's have a look here. This is the mix. And I already told you previously that I love doing stuff like that before the drop. Okay, I want this in my automation. Again, the same stuff here. Just mix, bam, reverb time as well, and you're good to go. Turn it off again and then magic. Lexicon mix, and there we are. Okay, and this way we can go. Time as well. You see? So, and what else do we need? Yep, we need a low pass filter again. So, we're going to do the same thing here. Done. Here we are. So we have all the necessary automations that I need to build up or build down the bass. Okay, and if you would go like this. Yeah, this way you can go into a break, into a drop, or whatever you want to do. Okay, so now I have these parameters here. I'm going to delete that because we're using that as a later stage. Okay, now before I start arranging, I want to have all the elements that I want in my track to be in this 4-bar loop. Yeah, so this is actually the heart of the track that's going to be later. So I need synthesizers, I need the elements that I need at the climax of the track. Yeah, okay, let's listen to that again, what we did. You could even leave it like that and it sounds cool, you know? Okay, we have 3 elements now. It's the bass drum, it's the bass, and it's the sub bass. Yeah. Quite happy with that already. So next, what are we going to do? Perhaps get a pad or a synthesizer. Let's see. You could use it as an addition, perhaps. Just copy the whole thing. Listen to that. Like this. And I have a good idea. We are going to use the Ollie Larkin Endless Flanger on this one. Here we are. Okay. Phaser. I want a certain kind of effect on this one. I just want movement in the background. So that's a pretty cool thing to do. What also would fit additionally is a auto pan. Just these small bits and pieces from Steinberg, they are so helpful, but they are so simple. They just have 2 knobs and that's it. Okay, let's take a look. Where is it? The auto pan. Here we are. Okay, put it on wide, okay, and then put it on sync, so it's nice movement. It's cool. But you have to be careful with the feedback. You can get dropouts in the lower frequencies as well. You hear it? So be careful with the feedback. Okay, let's try the flanger. Perhaps it sounds better. Now, phaser it is. And you can also choose the amount of stages that you want here. So listen. The more you get put, the stronger the effect will be. You don't want this one. Let's take the 6. You can narrow the range of the flanger and the rate. Sounds good. Okay, with the bass. So you see you have movement in the background. Okay, normally I wouldn't need the stereo widener anymore because I have the the auto pan on there, so I'm going to throw that one out. Okay, now we have some cool elements. So what I also want to do, I have like 2 basses now, 3 basses, sub, the background pan bass and the main bass. I don't want to do effects on that each separately. I want the one effect on all 3 of them. So how do you do that? You route them to a bus. It's very easy to do in Cubase. Open Edit again. Here's the output line. Go to groups and I have the bass group. Do the same here. Edit. Stereo out. Bass group and our sub bass. Same here. Bass group, and now we have everything here. Okay, now I have to figure out what do we have on the bass group. The sidechain as well. I don't want that one. Okay. So I put in a low pass filter, and you see one effect for all three of them. Very helpful. And the same one with a low pass filter. And the good thing is you can put any effect that you want on the bus, and you can automate it once, and it routes all the plugins that you want in there. Okay, we're starting a little bit of arrangement now. Hi-hats, okay. So put this one here, copy it a couple of times. Okay, how do we proceed? Bass drum. Okay, I don't want it in full effect right from the beginning, so I want to put a low cut on there. Okay, no bypass. Okay, let's have a listen to the bass drum. Okay, this is a low pass filter. I don't want the low pass, I want a high pass. You see? So the best way to start a track is like this. Yeah? And it's the same that I told you with the automation. You can do it with every plugin. This is automation, routed to the plugin directly. Okay. I would probably start with something like this. Or perhaps something like this. With the low cut filter. Perhaps take out a couple of elements so it doesn't get boring in the drop. So I would go, let's see. Or just like this. Or like this. Or like this. I suggest we're doing it like this. Okay. Sounds cool to me. Again, read and write. So we have the filter here. Okay. So. You can either way start with something like this, but most of the time I also want a ride or something underneath it. Let me see, I think I have one pre-produced already here. Well, you can start with that. And then later you can bring in the hi-hat, for example. Okay, we leave this, we're keeping this. Okay, and we're going to make the drop here. Yeah, so I want to build up until there. Okay, what else do I want? I want a pad or something like this. Simple but effective. Okay. Okay, later I wanted to be speeded up again, so I just put it on the offbeat from there. Perhaps. Don't know yet. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I'm just playing around now. So, and listen, seeing if it's going to fit. Okay, we're going to use this here. Okay, what we do now is building everything up. I need a small, either way, a pad or something which I can filter up and open up until the end of the build-up, or I'll take a small snare roll or something like that. Let's see, there are a couple of sample CDs which already have pre-produced build-ups and everything in there from Vengeance, for example. So we make everything a little faster today. Okay, and the sample CD is called Ultimate Fills Part Volume 2. So we take hands up, trance, fills, 140 BPM. That's what we're going to do now. Okay, now we're going to the house fills, of course. Take some time to find the right one. Give it a shot. Boom. Done. We have our build up. Ciao. No, we're not going to do that. We are making it simple now, I decided. Okay, I take one of my effects that I like to use. Simple noises and washes and... Okay, same here, automations and everything. Okay, and we put it here. Okay. This one is cool. Of course, white noise. Okay, let's see. So now we have to start working with elements that can build everything up. So I probably need some more small elements that are going to be like pitched or like rhythmic and just getting uplifting from filtering it up and using reverbs and delays. So mostly we will find it on the go, what we are going to take. So let's see. Okay, let's have a look. Sounds
sounds cool as well. Nope. Well, this could work. Put the band rate up to 24. Okay, we don't need a lot of frequencies here. It's just the thing that we need in the background. And we are starting here. Let's see. Okay. We want to pitch this note. I want it to be filtered. Ciao. Okay. Now we're going to do something like that, okay? So, what we also need to do is cutting and reverbs. Where was the beautiful reverb? Here. For example. We could also use, we can open the filter first, that would be a good idea. Okay, so make it a little bit more bigger. I like to make a really short stop at the last beat. Okay. Okay. Filter it. Unlock. Could work. Okay, and most of the time, as I don't want to ruin the volume of the main instrument, I leave it as it is, the volume in the instrument, and I use just another volume modulator, which is in most of the cases I'm working on, it's the Synaxis 3G. Yeah. I think a couple of people use it as well. You can automate it as well, and then it's just like using the volume through that without touching the volume of the synthesizer, because that can change effects and compressors and everything if the signal is too low or too high. Yeah. Okay. done that. Here it is. Okay, we're going into the bass group again. Cool. Okay. Let's try this. Normally I should do the same with this additional bass, but in this case I will just filter it down and fade it out. We do it like this again. Fast and easy. The nicest filter. There we go. A low pass filter. Optimized. Done. I think it will sound pretty good already. Okay, let's see. Not that bad. And it's the last thing here. This is the white noise, simple white noise. Which is like this. And with the volume shaper, it's just like a really nice backslapping effect, but this way you have to adjust it just straight to the back. This way it gives a little bit more drive during the beat. Well, so this is actually the basics of how I would start a track. Hope I helped you a little bit. There's tons of information about in there about Cubase and sound structure that I use, and hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. The scene has changed a lot. You know, there's not really a proper house scene anymore, and if there's a house scene, it's more like deep house, a little bit of minimal. And what I realized when I was traveling the world over the last couple of months, I realized that house music is more like the grown-up kind of thing, you know. And the new generations who have come up over the last 2 years, young kids wanting a lot of noise and coming up, and that's actually when the time came when EDM was there, you know. And for me, as a house music veteran, I would say, you know, I've been always in house music over the last more than 20 years. So house music is where my heart is. And soul, it has to have soul. And the new stuff that's out there, there's good stuff out there still, but there's a lot of stuff that's very exchangeable, you know, and that's where I came to the point where I have to say, am I going to adapt to that EDM, or am I going to stay true to my roots, where I came from?